you this. Take a rest with the angel all night long. He wouldn't let go till the break of dawn. He said you gotta bless me before you leave. I felt the same way when I was on my knees. I asked the Lord to help me to be strong. I called him all night long. All night. All night. I don't know about you, but I called on him. I wouldn't give up. All night, Lord Jesus. All night. Woo, thank you, sir. I wouldn't let go. Yes, all night, all night, all night. Good Lord. I just held on. I called on the Lord all night long, and I wouldn't let go until he blessed my soul. I'm a witness. Great God Almighty. That he came through. Anybody ever called on Jesus? I call on Jesus. I wouldn't let him go till they blessed me. I fell down on my knees. I said, Master, help me, please. In the morning, in the evening. Great God Almighty. Oh, Lord, thank you, sir. I call. Good Lord. My God. I stayed down on my knees. Calling on Jesus. Tears were falling down my eyes. Thank you, Jesus. Lord. The Lord. All night long, and I wouldn't let go until he blessed my soul. Great God Almighty, that he came through. Come on, snap your finger like this and pat your foot. I survived the worst of times because the Lord was there. It's no goodness of my own, but it's the hand of the Lord that's upon me. It's no goodness of my own, but it's the hand of the Lord that's upon me. Come on, choir. It's no goodness. It's no goodness of my own, but the hand. It's the hand of the Lord that's upon me. Come on, choir. It's no goodness of my own. It's the hand of the Lord that's upon me. Come on, take me out. Hand of the Lord. It's the hand of the Lord that's upon me. Hand of the Lord. It's the hand of the Lord that's upon me. Then I heard my grandmother say, I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful that I'm here. Clap your hands and say, oh, it's the hand. It's the hand of the Lord that's upon me. Sing it with us. Oh, it's the hand of the Lord. It's the hand of the Lord. One time. That's upon me. Sing it again. The Lord. It's the hand of the Lord that's upon me. Oh.
Connecting the community through gospel. The new 107.9 FM, W300EB, Macon, and WDDO 980 AM, Perry, Macon. Connecting the community through gospel.
Ephesians 6:11 says, put on the full armor of God so that you can take your stand against the devil and his schemes. Come on, Favorite Friday, let's go. Oh, the battle. The battle is done. Yes, the battle. The battle's been won. Yes, the battle. The battle is won. That's all we come to tell you. Say it again, let's go. The battle is done. Yes, the battle. The battle's already won. The battle is won. Come on, take it out. Say, put on the full armor of God so that you can take a stand. Come on, say it again. Put on the full armor of God so that you can take a stand. Say, oh, the battle. Oh, the battle. The battle is done. Yes, the battle. The battle's already been won. Yes, the battle. The battle is won. Come on, take it out. Put on the floor so that you can take a stand. Come on, you got your armor with you. Let's go to fight. Let's go. So that you can take a stand. Come on, let's take it up again. Say, oh, the battle. The battle has come. Oh, the battle. The battle is done. Say, yes, the battle. The battle's been won. Say, yes, the battle. The battle is won. Come on, put on the full armor of God so that you can take a stand against the battles of suicide, depression. Come on, put on the full armor of God so that you can take a stand. Come
it's gonna be soon. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? And when we all get to heaven, that's the day when we'll be shouting. Oh, that's the day when that we're gonna be so glad. Oh, we were ready. Are you ready? Are you ready? Listen. Do you know him as your King, Lord and Savior of everything? Are you ready? 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 When we all get up to heaven, that's the day when we'll all be shouting, 'cause we'll be so glad, oh so glad we were ready. Are you ready? Are you ready? I can't wait for that day. No more trouble, it's all gone away. I can't wait to see my Savior's face. Are you ready? Are you ready? Would your soul be lost if he came back today? Oh, got my bags all ready, 'cause I don't wanna be late. On that day, I just wanna be ready on that day. Oh, be ready. Oh, be ready. Oh, be ready. And oh, be ready. Oh, be ready. Oh, be ready. Oh, when it cracks the sky. Will we meet in the great dark? I like that.
Our Father, all of heaven rules your name. Sing loud, let this place erupt with praise. Can you hear it? The sound of heaven touching earth. The sound of heaven touching earth. Our Father, all of heaven rules your name. Sing louder. Let this place erupt with praise. Can you hear it? The sound of heaven touching earth. The sound of heaven touching earth.
Spirit break out. Yeah. Break our walls down. Every wall that we build. Spirit break out. Let heaven come down. Oh, Spirit break out. Would you break our walls down right now, right now? Spirit break out all over us. Let heaven come down. Oh,
King Jesus, you're the name we're lifting high. Your glory is shaking
It's AM and FM, how you heard it in the old days. The new 107.9 FM and 980 AM WDDO, The Glory.
Here at the Dozier Law Firm, we've been fortunate enough to be able to do a lot of our work from home. We are greatly appreciative and thank every one of the essential workers that have been out there on the front lines every day. The Dozier Law Firm. Be smart and be careful.
If you've been wondering where your old-time gospel favorites are, well, they are right here. Every weekday at 9 a.m., where Vertice inspires us, left us, and takes us back with Walking Down the Lane. Come hear the oldies with Vertice on 980 a.m. WDDO.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Vertice 00 on the Tour Express every morning at 6 a.m. until 11 a.m. Vertice wants to put a smile on your face with Drive Time, where the community come together and we live, love, and laugh. And then he takes us down the lane and plays the best
I can hear myself talking through the mic.
name of Jesus. Call in and speak with him live and make your request at 478-250-1444.
Angels of Mercy has moved to 3085 Vineville Avenue. Do you or a loved one need assistance with personal care, light housekeeping, meal preparation, laundry?
One, two, I can hear myself.
It's AM and FM, how you heard it in the old days. The new 107.9 FM and 980 AM WDDO, The Glory.
Macon and Middle Georgia, you've been asking for it, and it is finally here. Yes, a citywide shopping spree, a day filled with shopping and enjoyment. 107.9 FM is headed to Dawsonville, Georgia, to the North Georgia Premium Outlet Mall. Yes, North Georgia, the Premium Outlet Mall. That's November the 2nd. November the 2nd, leaving from 2627 Napier Avenue at 7:30 a.m. that morning. Yes, it's only $25 to ride the bus. It's all day. Come and join the citywide shopping spree going on right here in Macon and Middle Georgia. Call today and claim your seat. 478-227-4050. Start today claiming your seat. 478-227-4050. Now we have openings up to 250 people. Please be one. That's North Georgia, the Premium Outlet Mall, November the 2nd. Yes, November the 2nd. And we want to see you there.
You may think that it's over, that your life is done. The best is yet to come. Don't sweat the challenge. Your battle's already won. Yeah. It's yet to come. Listen, y'all. See, God writes the end before the story begins. Oh, he told me to tell you the best is yet to come. As the author of your faith, he wrote a provision for you to win. You're a winner, you're a winner, you're a winner. Yeah. You ain't seen your best days yet. You ain't seen your best days yet. You ain't seen your best days yet. I don't care what people told you, you ain't seen no best. You ain't seen your best days. Oh, well, my. You ain't seen your best days yet. Stay in the faith, my sister. You ain't seen your my brother, my brother, my brother, my brother. Trusting no one. Would you deposit this word in your heart? You ain't seen your best days yet. No, 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 it's not too late for you to start. You ain't seen your best days. I want to encourage you. I just want to encourage you. You ain't seen your best days yet. You ain't seen your best days yet. Get away from negative words. Get away from negative people. Hear God speak to you. The best. The best. The best. Do you hear me? Oh, you're gonna run and not be weary. You're gonna walk and not faint. Oh, the best is on the way. I see you, eagle. I see you flying high. Ooh, you ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing. I know you may think that you have, but God told me to tell you, you gotta keep on fighting, keep on praying. You ain't seen nothing yet. No, 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 no. You ain't seen your best days yet. You ain't seen your best days yet. It's greater, it's stronger.
Necessarily the views of the Glory 980 AM, the Glory Media Group, LLC, WDDO AM, its staff, management, or advertisers, but are the views and opinions of the participants of the broadcast.
Wake up, everybody, no more sleeping in bed. No more backward thinking, time for thinking ahead.
Listen to the lyrics.
Very much from what it used to be. There's so much hatred, war and poverty.
Yes, yes, yes. Wake up, everybody. No more sleeping in bed. No more backward thinking. Time to think ahead. This is your Senator David Lucas, taking the place of Elaine Lucas today. She was in Fort Valley State at a Delta meeting, and they called her and talked to her. And so she made it and asked me would I sit in for her. Look, I'm glad to do it. We got a lot of things to talk about. I just left Mayfield, which is a suburb of Hancock County. And we had the rural health community health truck in Mayfield to give free blood pressure, any kind of problem that folks had during the hurricane, any health problems. They could be checked out right there. And then I left and went to Washington County, Sandersville. And guess what? FEMA is there. SBA is there to help the folks in the community. And yet and still we have a lying ex-president, Donald Trump, who appeals to the innermost worst feeling of whites when it comes to people of color. This man lies all the time. He's lied about FEMA, that FEMA would take all your property so that you can get some help. That's an outright lie. And that they're sending the money to the migrants. That's an outright lie. This man is a professional liar. He doesn't talk about he raped a lady and he had to pay her. He didn't talk about that. He didn't talk about his property in New York, that he was sending in a different value on the property. And guess what? They caught him. They caught him. And now he has 34 charges against him. Now, if that were you or me, we'd be in jail. And they'd have had a trial and indicted us and then sentenced us. And he had the nerve to talk about the judge, his wife, and his daughter. You go to court and you talk about the judge, his wife, and daughter, and see if you won't be behind bars. We've got to understand that this election is a very important election. I remember the day that my grandfather died here in Macon, Eugene Lucas. And guess where he died? Out in front of City Hall after going to City Hall to vote. I never will ever forget it. And there was a guy that worked at the city, Vanderbilt Huff. And Mr. Huff was outside when my daddy got there with my granddaddy laying in his arms. But one thing that Eugene Lucas did, he went to vote. Listen, you can call in at 478-250-1444. Yes, they got the right one today, baby. They got me, your senator. And for you young folks out there, you need to pull up your pants and go vote. This election is the most consequential election in my lifetime. We're talking about the difference between a person who wants to be a dictator, who wants to emulate Putin, take the military, and round up so-called migrants. You remember what Trump did? He separated the kids from their families. And now some of those kids have not seen their family in years because nobody knows where they are. That's what Donald Trump will do. And then if you look at Project 2025, for those of you who are receiving checks, and I'm talking about veterans too, those of you who are on disability, those of you who get SNAP, he's talking about cutting it out. And yet and still, I find those folks who look like me are standing up there with Donald Trump talking about electing Trump as president. He's already told you on day one, if he's elected, he's going to be a dictator. He's talking about getting rid of the Constitution of the United States. But do you all remember? It was on television when Trump invited the mob to the White House because he lost, and they attacked the White House. You know, we hadn't seen anything like that since the war between the states, the United States and the Confederacy of the South. And it seems as though we are headed back. It seems as though we are headed back. We like to thank Teresa Henderson for coming and listening, Marvin Bailey, Patrick Davis, who provides us with a lot of information. You know, Donald Trump is going to take the federal government to purposely neglect areas with Republican voters. That it is funding emergency money. Well, what he's talking about doing is neglect folks where Democratic voters are. Remember when they had the wildfires in California and Trump was the president, Trump refused to send any money to California because they did not vote for him. Listen, people, I just went and visited Washington County and Hancock County and Johnson County. And guess what? Black and whites were working together to try to put their community back together. The funeral of the two kids where the tree fell on the house and killed them in the bed was paid by somebody that don't look like me and you. And he's from Sandersville and doing very well. And did not want anybody to know that he paid for that funeral. Listen, we got to get up, we got to wake up, and we got to do like Michelle Obama said. Don't talk about it, do something about it. If you don't feel good today and you haven't voted, get up, put your pants or your dress on, and go vote. And come back and lay down. This is the most important election we have. And let me say something to you. The politics is real toxic. It's toxic in Atlanta because he has a bunch of followers that support him in the Georgia General Assembly. Funny Willis is not on trial. Donald Trump is the one that's on trial for what he's done. And Donald Trump is running to be president so he can go in, dismiss all the charges against him. And you got to remember, we got a rogue Supreme Court now. They say whatever he did as a president, he has immunity. Something is wrong with that picture. If David Lucas does something wrong, guess what? They're going to be trying to put me in jail. Jail, jail, or even under the jail. And people are going to be clapping their hands all around Macon, Georgia. Let me tell y'all a story. When I left Tuskegee University and came back home, my first job, I got under Jimmy Carter, the intern program, and I worked at the Girls YDC. That's right. I worked at the Girls YDC. And after I left there, my former coach, James Hamilton, who was athletic director at Northeast, asked me would I come up and be an assistant coach at Northeast High School. And I said yes. I coached varsity football, varsity tennis, and I was a basketball coach at the junior high. And I never will forget that they fired the coach in Northeast. I didn't know anything about it. The Booster Club president told me about it. And when they fired him, I went up to see about applying for the head coaching job. And they told me I was too young. I was too young. And then the coach they hired assigned me to the B team and took me off the varsity and assigned a person on the coaching staff who had played baseball but not football. Very interesting. And guess what I told him to do with that job? I told him to stick it. I left and went to a place called Sheboygan, Wisconsin. Played semi-pro football. Made the all-star team. Was the captain. And we were playing in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. And I separated my shoulder during the game. After that all-star game, I got in my javelin. I had my motorcycle on a trailer and drove all the way back to Macon, Georgia, taking pain pills for my shoulder. I came back and they asked me would I coach girls basketball over at Bibb Tech. The head coach was going to college and working on another degree. And so I had to practice the girls. I didn't know a lot about girls basketball. And the guy I went to was named Alvin Copeland, who was the girls basketball coach up in Northeast. And he gave me plays and how to coach girls playing basketball. You know, being a football player, all the thing you think about is hitting folks out of the defensive back, so you hit folks. If you catch the ball, you hit him, try to separate him from the ball. And while I was there, I didn't take a lot of education courses, and I got a 3-year provisional that said at the end of the 3 years, I need to have all of the education hours I needed in order to be a certified teacher. And I never would forget that I got elected. And when I got elected, I didn't have a job. They told me I couldn't be certified as a teacher. But I had a 3-year provision. That was in 1972. And so I would assume that the 3-year provision lasted to 1975, and that in 75, by 75, I had to have all of the necessary hours to qualify me to be a certified teacher. And I was more interested in playing professional football. Dollar signs in my eye. Mother wanted me to go to law school. I had the opportunity to go to NYU, and I didn't do it. And never will forget that back in the days when I was playing ball at Peter G. Hampton, William Ratner, who was an attorney then, he was working for Coca-Cola before he got his license to practice law. After I became a lawyer, we were talking one day, and I had an opportunity to go to the Cleveland Browns and try. And a guy by the name of Al Tables from Peach County was assistant coach. And I asked him, I said, Coach, y'all gonna give me my plane ticket? No, David, you're gonna have to pay for your plane ticket and everything. And I asked Billy Rather, hey man, what about handling this, negotiating this for me? I want to go play. But it didn't work out. And Billy Rather told me, he said, look, they just drew new districts for Macon. You ought to run. Well, I thought about it. neighborhood over there in Sheridan called Belvedere Manor. And there was a guy over there that worked for the railroad. Never would forget it. Francis Adams. You might remember them from Adams Lounge, on the Adams Lounge. Came to me and said, I hear you talking about running. I said, I don't know. He said, well, let me say this to you. Take this check and go pay that qualifying fee. Hey, people that were older than me, I was 24 at the time, and I ran for political office. And then let me tell you something. I studied Robert Rules of Order so that I could make sure I could deal with the process up at the Georgia Capitol. And guess what I found out? Robert Rules of Order didn't matter up there. They had their own rules up there. And so I had to get in that rule book that they had for the members of the Georgia General Assembly on the House side and study it. And that's what I did. Because I wanted to be a voice and an effective voice for those folks that I represent. And that's how David Lucas got to the Georgia General Assembly. But ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you this, and especially you young folks, if you don't get involved in your community and do something and vote, then how you gonna tell somebody else what they ought to be doing when you've not tried? It's shameful when we in this community, and I'm talking about those of us who look like me, make the statement, well, I'm not going to vote because they're going to do what they want to do. They're going to do what they want to do when they are not challenged. When they are not challenged. And so when you send somebody and vote for somebody to go to represent you, they represent that district. And then a lot of times, the things that come up might sound good and look good, but if they're not good for the folks that you represent, sometimes you have to stand alone. And you're an outcast, or you are called militant. But you have to represent the folks that elected you to that office. I remember when I was in college, and the first blacks that ran for the Alabama state legislature was a lawyer named Fred Gray, and the other guy's name was Thomas Reed, who owned the chicken coop. Yes, just like Church Friday, he had places in Tuskegee, and he sold chicken. And sometimes late at night, we used to go to the chicken coop to get something to eat because we were hungry. But he was a state representative. And in my senior year of college, that was my junior year, they ran and Tom Reed lost. And he lost in a place called Barber County. They were voting dead folks. And we ran him as an independent and beat the guy. And so you had the first two black legislators in the Alabama legislature. And then my senior year, there was a black guy that ran for mayor. And I supported him. His name was Johnny Ford. Johnny Ford. So politics has always been in the back of my mind. But I had that burning desire to play professional football. It seems that the dollars were a lot better, and it was something that I enjoyed playing. Hey, y'all, I didn't make it, but I got my sheepskin from Tuskegee. I graduated. And have been able to use the knowledge that I had coming out of Tuskegee. The first black sheriff in the South, guy by the name of Lucius Amos, was my classmate over in Macon County, Tuskegee. Let me say to you, those experiences played a part in my thinking and about being involved. Never will forget, we had a group in Macon back when I was in college. We come on for the summer, we look for summer jobs and those kind of things. And blacks weren't hired. And so we protested and marched to get some things done. A lot didn't happen. But that experience told me that we had to make a change. And so when I ran for office, rather than being out in the street protesting, I did something. I ran. And when I first got elected, I said that we were going to have blacks on city council. We had just lost a lawsuit suing the city for at-large elections. And when we did the legislation and drew the districts for folks in Macon for blacks to be elected for the first time, there was a meeting in the mayor's office, and the mayor at that time was Ronnie Thompson. And he said, David, you just want to be a boss. And I said to him, Ronnie, you want to be the boss. And people came up to me and said, well, you were wrong. That was the mayor. I said, well, I'm the representative. He addressed me as David without a title, so I addressed him as Ronnie without a title. And all of a sudden, David Lucas became a militant. I tell you, people will make up stuff, lie about you, be your friend, and everything. But you got to stay the course. Kamala Harris is staying the course. She talking about little folks, not billionaires, but little folks. Donald Trump brags about himself being a millionaire. And of course, Elon Musk has put $75 million in his campaign to get him elected. But we all know who Donald Trump is. We all know he's a big liar. But you can call in at 478-250-1444. Today, I'm hosting my wife's show, Ask Elaine. But the thing you got today, you got the right one, baby. And I'm telling you, it is about time for us to wake up in Macon, Georgia. Screaming and hollering is fine. But if you don't get out and vote, then you've done nothing. And your screaming and hollering is for nil. So I want to tell young folks, get out and go vote. If you're not registered, go and register so you can vote the next time. But you've got to do something. Don't wait. Or get mad because nobody asked you. Get out and do something. That's what you got to do. Young folks, I'm pleading with you. I am pleading with you. Go and vote. Those of you who are registered, go vote. This election means something. Voting rights, women rights. What man do you know can have a baby? Ain't no way they can fix it. They can't, what's the word I want to use? There's no way that they can change your body to even make you have a baby. And you know, something that we need to understand, and especially our black men. I'm in politics. Women do the scheduling. They do the appointments for me to talk to my constituents. So why not? Can't they be elected? Why is it that folks feel like Kamala Harris, who's the vice president, can't be effective in running this country? She has a law degree. She's been the attorney general in the state of California. She has the knowledge. And guess what? She went to HBCU, where we still educate black students. You might not have had a thing when you went to the HBCU, but when you made it out, you had something. You had some knowledge. You had some get up and go. You had professors who talk to you and tell you you need to do something. That's what it's all about, you young folks. Matter of fact, I had one that asked me, said, well, look, when you gonna give it up? I said, as long as I think I can speak for the folks that I represent and do something, and don't have a bag hanging on me, I'll be there. But if they got to put a bag on me, you can forget about David Lucas going to the Georgia General Assembly. And that's when you get real, real sick. You know, talk about Bibb County. There are 16,000 young blacks voters under the age of 40 that are not voting in Bibb. I got, well, let's put the caller on. Caller, can
Hello?
you hear me?
Oh, I can now. How you doing, Mr. Luke? This is Wade Horton. I got a question.
Yeah.
We keep hearing that black men in particular are voting more in a higher percentage for Donald Trump. But
speak a little bit loud.
Okay, hold on one second.
You said black men what?
Okay. You know, they say that black men are voting a higher percentage for Donald Trump this cycle than in the past. But I haven't seen any polling that poll only black people. So how can you get a percentage of black vote without polling only black people? Because if you polling everybody at the same time, you're not going to get an accurate number. And who are these people?
Let me apologize. We having a little difficulty. We got some technical difficulties here, and I'm trying to hear you. If you would speak a little bit louder and say it again. You know, Things are changing, and even in Bibb County. My wife was term limited on the county commission. And term limit was put in for a purpose. You couldn't defeat her. And so you made sure she couldn't represent her district again as a county commission. We're the only county commission with a consolidated government that has term limits. People give you term limits. People who vote for you and you don't do anything, and they say you hadn't done anything for the district or who you represent, they vote against you. They give you term limits. So your vote counts. Your vote really counts. If you look at the Macon Water Authority, nope. Those districts are big. Each commissioner represents 500 folks. And remember now, we're a consolidated government, and you used to have one appointed by the city member and one appointed by the county. There are 2 appointees from the county government. Ought not to be but one. And that one that goes ought to be a district seat. It should be a seat to be elected from. I don't know whether Mayor Miller will get a 3rd term. He's not done a bad job, as far as I'm concerned. He's not done a bad job. For years, black folks in this community were asking about houses that were next to them that had been burnt out or been left neglected, and they're trying to keep up their property. And the mayor at that time spent all the money downtown, not in these neighborhoods. The current mayor put his office behind it, and he's gotten rid of them. You can see these raggedy houses come down. And then they go out and plant grass on the lots. And some of them are being sold. I heard it then. There's just spreading that false narrative to keep black men from voting for Kamala. Well, Reverend Watson, I believe you are correct. They're spreading that rumor to trying to keep black men from voting for Kamala Harris. You asked me about that 3rd term, and I say it's 50-50. It's a moving target. Well, I think the folks that you see at Trump rally, I think they're actually getting paid to be there. I really do. I mean, here's an ex-president who said that the guys in New York should have been thrown in jail and the keys thrown away for the incident at the park. And all of them were found innocent. And now one of them is a city councilman in New York. You know, God has a strange way. I do believe there's a higher being. Caller?
Yes. Okay, can you hear me?
I can hear you well.
Okay, thank you. The question I have is, they keep saying that black men are voting in higher percentages for Trump this cycle. But I haven't seen not one poll that was predominantly done only with black people in the polling. Because how can you get a percentage of a population of people if you're not polling only those people and no one else?
Well, Trump doesn't have a problem by telling a lie. He's a professional liar. And I wonder about that too. Did you see the insurrection on television on the Capitol?
Oh yeah.
How many of us did you see in that insurrection?
Zero.
That's what I'm talking about. That's the reason I talk about he appeals to the innermost feelings of whites about folks of color. Folks of color. When you talk about migrants, you're talking about folks who come and wear it hot. They got real good tans. Good tans. He talks about you destroying the fabric of America. Let me say this. He told a lie that's just how good he does, like it's nothing. He told a lie and said migrant workers were eating the cats and dogs in Springfield, Ohio, I believe that was. And the people there went and recruited them to work in the factories that they have in Springfield, Ohio. So when you look at how we do, and you look at all these polls, the poll said that 12% of black folks, 12% cast ballots for Biden in 2020. Now only 6% voted for Republicans in 2008 with Obama. Yep. They don't mind lying. They do not mind lying.
But one reason I bring this up too is because you got all of these major news outlets repeating this, but they're not telling the public where they get these numbers from, because
these major news outlets are getting paid and trying to make candidates spend more money with them.
Right.
I mean the advertisement and stuff is not free. That's how they make their money.
Right.
So when you look at a lot of these polls, you don't know whether they're saying that these polls are this or that. And they are trying to make money. This advertisement is off the chain when it comes to this presidential election.
Right. Seems like today the truth doesn't matter, though. No matter if it's coming from Trump or coming from the media, because it's not truthful if they're not reporting the actual truth.
Well, they own the news outlets.
Right.
And guess what? The problem with that is they're in the money-making business. So when you are campaigning and you hear a voice, or my voice on the radio, it didn't get that free. I had to pay for it.
Right.
So we need to understand what's happening to us. We got the Voting Rights Act passed. Many folks of color died. Viola LaRusso was white, a white female, and they killed her in Mississippi, trying to register black folks to vote. We've paid a price for the privilege of voting, because if you commit a felony and convicted, You don't have that right anymore. And we need to understand that. But we need to understand that when you are talking to young folks, tell them about, you can go to school and be a truck driver. You can get a truck driving job. You don't have to be out here on these streets. With all of the commodities that are being shipped across this country, all of it ain't put on a train. All of it is not put on a train. 18-wheelers. They make good money. But you got to do something. First of all, you got to want to be somebody. You got to want to be somebody. And if you want to be somebody, you'll get out and go find you a job. Now you might not make a whole lot of money, but you got to do good about that little money that you make and be prudent about spending it. That's what you got to do. Call, I appreciate the call. You can call 478-250-1444. And remember that lead-up tune that came in. Wake up, everybody. No more backward thinking. No more sleeping in bed. And that's what we got to do. This election means something. Don't tell me I don't vote because they're going to do what they want to do. You better get up and vote. If you get a disability check, you better go vote. If you get food stamps, you better go vote. If you're a veteran, you better go vote. You better go vote. And you young folks, you need to look at what's going on, because a lot of laws are being passed about you and what you do. So you need to vote. You need to have a voice. Don't complain if you don't vote. Do not complain if you don't vote. You know, I get mad sometimes, you know, and sometimes I don't show it. I mean, people knock on your door, and they hand out pamphlets, but they don't vote. They don't vote, and that is their conviction that the Almighty will take care of everything. But when the Almighty gives you a brain to think with and a mouth to speak out, you need to use it. Or it might become unfunctional. What I do like and what I saw the first day when I went to the polls to vote, because we are hauling people to the polls to vote. And that number is 478-257-6767. Call to get a ride. If you need a ride, call 478-257-6767. I want to remind you on November the 5th, on Williamson Road, the Ice Bar will be having a gathering on election night. The Ice Bar on Williamson Road will be having a gathering on election night. So those of you who want to attend, you can attend. Let me repeat that number again, 478-257-6767. You don't have an excuse that you don't have a ride. to the poll. Hey, y'all. It's about that time. We had some technical difficulties, but we finally got on the air. And what I want to say to you, I want to thank you for these years you've given me the opportunity to serve you. And I never will forget who elected me. But as Kamala runs for president, we need to get out and show our support. I don't think she's forgotten from where she come from. You know, the ex-president said, well, is she Indian or is she black? She's of color. And she hadn't forgotten where she come from. She went to HBCU. She went to Howard University and got a good education. And so when they debated on television, you saw for yourself that there was a person that was very knowledgeable about what they're talking about. And you saw one over there rambling. He's the oldest candidate now running for president. But he's running to try to stay out of jail. That's what he's doing. And he's trying to set us up. He's trying to set us up to say that the election is fraudulent. Trying to set us up and say that the election is fraudulent. And then he has those supporters. You know, Donald Trump is like Jim Jones. You know, Jim Jones took all them folks to the jungle and then poisoned them. Well, Donald Trump doing the same thing. He's doing the same thing. So we got to do our part. We fought for the right to vote. We fought for it. We died for it. We died for it. Martin Luther King would still be alive today because I think he had good health. But he died for the right and privilege for us to vote. And the judge threw the monkey wrench and those three Republicans sitting on the Board of Election. So you can't use those rules to certify the election. You can't hand count and bring those rules up for this election. It's too close to the election. Nobody knows anything about it but y'all. So we got to understand that it's on us. We don't need to get out and talk about what they're doing. We need to talk about what we are doing to make sure that we get a good deal on whatever. I'll remind you that I ain't as young as I used to be. And there are some young folks that got to come along and carry the fight. So get ready, you young folks. Get ready. Get yourself ready. Do something. Do something. do something besides talk. Let's put a little action into what you do. Well, here we are again on a Wednesday. Caller, go ahead and call.
Yeah.
I can hear you. Go ahead.
Yes. Yes. This is Walter Glover.
Reverend, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. I know you're doing good because you're talking good.
Well, I appreciate it. I've been down in Hancock and Washington counties today, and I broke the speed limit to get back to do this show. And I just thought that we need to make sure. It seems as though we've forgotten where we come from. We've forgotten Reverend Malone, Reverend E.S. Evans, Reverend McTill, all of those folks, Reverend Moon, who refused to get on the back of the bus in the city of
Yeah, Reverend Key and Reverend Malone.
Reverend Key.
Yeah.
And you always heard Reverend Key, well, when you going to do something for Unionville?
That's right. That's right.
He was always talking about Unionville. We give Frank Johnson a lot of credit because he worked. But Reverend Key always asked, what y'all going to do for Unionville?
For Unionville. That's right. That's right. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well,
And some we have forgotten about those folks who came before us.
And blazed the way.
And the kinds of things that they experienced.
Right.
And trying to make sure everything got all right.
Yes, sir. Well, you on point all day today, urging our people to not listen to lies and foolishness and exercise the privilege to vote.
That is right.
This is a most consequential election, and it's going to determine our futures.
There is no doubt about that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. We've got to get up. We got to wake up. We got to get up, and we got to do something.
That's right, brother.
Yeah, we got to do something.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just wanted to commend you and thank you for all you do. And you've been serving us a long time, and you've been a voice for us a long time. And both you and your wife. And I just want to give you all a shout out.
Well, thank you, Reverend Governor.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right. Have a good day.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, you've been hearing from your senator, David Lewis. I've been through the district because we've had some problems. A hurricane came through, tore out a lot of stuff. Trees fell on power lines. People were without power. All the food in the freezer and the refrigerator spoiled. We had to get bottled water because electricity was off. We've had some issues, but yet we've gotten through it. Both black and white. Both black and white. I can tell you because I've been down through my district. black and white citizens got together and came together because there was a tragedy in their community. And so I know that everybody ain't drinking Donald Trump's Kool-Aid, because he getting ready to take them to the slaughter. But we got to wake up, folks, and we got to vote. We got to vote. We're 63% of this community in Bill County. And we need to show that we care. So you need to wake up, get out to bed, and do something. Do something. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been my pleasure to be with you today. Next Wednesday, Elaine, Lucas will be back hosting Ask Elaine. For this day, I want to say to you, good day.